this is Lori, and this is my homework for Paul McCorner's Uno R4 class. This is lesson number 4, and in this lesson, Paul taught us about building neat and tidy circuits on our breadboard, and he asked us to use the 4 LEDs on our breadboard that we hooked up lesson number 3, and do something creative in terms of doing some kind of pattern and lighting them up. Well, I just thought I'd share a little bit about my journey here in getting a neat and tidy board. So first off is, if we're going to do some interesting patterns with LEDs, I feel like I need more than 4 to do something fun. So I put some other LEDs on here, and you notice they're really small ones. I went ahead and bought a few different kinds of LEDs, and I bought some 3mm ones. And I also bought some of the regular 5, that kind like we have in the kit. These are orange because I like orange and I'm tired of using red. Paul said we can't use blue because it's not a special occasion, but he didn't say anything about orange. So I'm going to use some orange ones because I'm tired of red. All right, so I put them on here. I did trim down my resistors. That was really hard for me to do. You know, it's kind of like when you get a really good box from Amazon and you save it because, you know, it's a really good box and, you know, maybe you'll need it someday. I feel the same way about the wires on my resistors. I've been hesitant to trim them down because what if I need that extra bit of the lead? So I've got tons of resistors, so I don't know why I worry about that. But anyways, that's why I've never done it. But I did it this time since it's part of the homework and got them down looking pretty good. The other thing I did was I started making my own connector wires from the pins here. I've been kind of experimenting with the way this 3D printed board I put together to have for my experimental setup works. I don't like loopy wires very much. They just kind of flop around, and so I like to make my own connection wires. And so this is my attempt to build something that comes off of the Arduino and plugs in, and I'm hoping some kind of style. I lifted them up so that I could put things underneath here on the rail if I needed to. So experimenting with that. And you know, if you have the wherewithal to do that, you can certainly do what Paul suggested, which is buy some of these ones that are pre-made. A couple reasons why this kit sits here unopened is I don't like what colors they chose for different ones. I try to be very religious about red and black being reserved for power and ground, and then I use the other colors for signals. So that's kind of my thinking here. So I went ahead and purchased my own wire. So I've got some 20 gauge solid wire here, and you can get a little kit like this. They're not terribly expensive, maybe 10 bucks, and they work really well. You want the solid core if you can get it, because that works much better for breadboarding. So then I make my own, and so you do need to invest in you know, some kind of a wire stripper. I have these; they're really nice, and it's really simple. I mean, once you get the hang of it, you just find your gauge of your wire here. It tells you, you clip on there and clip and pull it off. There you go, and then you just bend it in. Use a plier or just even your own hand. You can bend it and make it into a nice little wire for breadboarding. So that's really simple, and definitely recommend it if you kind of like me and want everything to be exactly where you want it to be. So that's just how I put together the my setup for my circuit, and maybe just a couple of pointers on things that I found useful as I've done Paul's courses. My first homework will be the Larson scanner, or I like to call it the Battlestar Galactica robot that had the little eye that went back and forth. Pretty traditional thing to do with LEDs and lined up in a row like that. So I'm trying to remember my Arduino programming, and I've forgotten everything from when I took the R3 course about 2 years ago from Paul. So I decided to look up and make sure I remembered how to do for loops. So got my for loops so that I could set up my pins, and I purposefully set up the pins to be 5 through 12 for the eight LEDs right here. So this loops through and sets them all up. And then now we're going to loop through and go, sort of up the string of lights and then down the string of lights. So we'll start at 5, since they're on 5 through 12. We'll start at 5 and turn them on and off. And then we need to come back down, but just trying to be careful not to relight the LEDs again, the ones on the ends. So we'll start at 11 and end at 6, because as we loop back around, we'll hit 5 again as we come back this way. So that's my approach, so that we don't kind of get a pause as we hit the ends if you don't do it that way. All right, I think I have this already loaded, so let's plug it in and see it go. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. It's always fun to do, and it's a great practice for using for loops, I think. All right, the second one was I'm going to have the lights kind of come in to the center and then go back out and in and out. So just messing around with different arrangements of the for loops to do that. So then we'll come in into the middle. So we'll go from 5 to 8, I guess, not including 9. And we'll turn the lower ones on, and then we'll turn the other one on the upper end also on. So just figuring out what it would take to get number 12. So 5 minus 17 gets me to 12. So that'll light the 2 on the edges. And there we go, get it in the screen here, and then it'll come in to the middle and go back out. So that's what that does. And here we are going out. Again, just trying to be careful not to relight the ones on the end as you go. So that's just a little careful keeping track of which ones have been lit and which ones haven't been lit on the ends. All right, so let's just see this one run. So I have this already downloaded. I know a lot of people are complaining about how long it takes to compile and download. Definitely a difference from our Picos. Yeah, there you go. So that's some fun. Okay, there's a lot we could do, but I think that's enough homework for today. And thanks, Paul, for the great lessons. I'm really enjoying getting back into Arduino and keeping that fresh in my mind. And thank you all for watching.